Okay, so we're gonna elaborate on. I was gonna do a video on Zeus and the satanic situation, but I fell asleep. Yeah, as soon as I talked about that this morning, I fell asleep, and then I had to wake up. So let me go ahead and discuss. This is my conspiracy theory. A lot of people want to know why the housing rent is going up. People get evicted. People in the homeless. You have people, because I'm gonna bash both the left and the right, because I do vote Republican and Democrat. I guess I'm independent now, and I see in the left side, they get judges who are Democrat to evict you and don't give you no resources after you get evicted. All right, and then try to put strict guidelines on you while you're going through homelessness. I understand there's people out there acting a fool, but not everybody at home is acting fool. People who got houses acting fool too. People who houses, who's a janitor. I used to be a janitor. You got people who have houses, even nice houses, who will mess your restroom up. Okay, so let's stop that little argument. Okay, but and then so you have people who have mental illness, and you have people who are on drugs. And you might say it is their fault in a way, and sometimes it's not. Okay, because I met people in this journey. There were people who have been sex trafficking of a woman. I don't want to mention too much because she works somewhere, but she in her 60s. She looked good for her age. This mixed race woman from New York. She has a sister part black and white and some other stuff probably, but everybody thinks she's Hispanic, and she was sex trafficking as a younger, and she was forced to do drugs. And so some of the people who are homeless who are on drugs were abused at home and forced to do drugs by bad parents or foster, whoever their we call it that guardian was. Or they was sexual, they was pimped, and no one talks about those type of stories. They always try to label every homeless person as being a druggie that chose to be drugged. Don't get me wrong, because here in Houston we do got people who experienced it years ago before Kush came in Houston, Texas, known to Houston, Texas. They was smoking marijuana and they still had jobs. So soon as they smoked Kush and wet, which is a bumming fluid, cigarettes or weed, they dip in bumming fluid in funeral homes, and people get high to their clothes or act a fool. And ever since that happened, um, they it has become a problem with people homeless because they cannot maintain their financial situations, responsibilities on having rent, a job. If you're on Kush, okay, you highly addicted to it. You're not gonna follow the rules. You're gonna act ugly and invite a demon. So, but not everybody that's homeless, especially myself, is on Kush and never did it. Okay, and don't have no plan to do it on my end. Okay, so I don't know drugs. And you say, well, you did CBD oil. Well, when I had the cancer situation in my scalp, after taking a Moderna shot, um, I'm not going to MD Anderson in Houston. And when I had an apartment then, it was free rent at the time, and paid $600 of my income tax. This is half of the income tax, like $1,000 some dollars, in tax 2022. So what the hell? Like, what in the world? Like, nah. So the CBD oil was good, and black seed oil, use that as well. Use sandalwood oil on top of it. Then also I made my own little remedy where I put baking soda and aloe vera gel and mixed it. Sometimes matcha green powder, matcha. I love matcha green tea. That's my kush. I put the green powder and mixed it because it has vitamin C in it and in my scalp to get rid of the abrasions that was coming in my scalp. I thought I had basal cancer or either melanoma because I had a mole in my scalp. When I was getting my hair relaxed the day of Astroworld, the lady told me, Zach, you have a mole. I said, that's a scarf when I was 12 years old. Having chickenpox. No, it was a mole. It's gone now. Okay, all right. So that's because I took the Moderna shot, and I'm gonna bring up the R. Kelly situation. Y'all know that if you know me on YouTube or on social media or my podcast, I talk about the R. Kelly case. They put semen on my porch. And I end up homeless. Okay, so the day I got my Moderna shot for COVID-19, because Judge Hidalgo was giving out $100 to anyone who gets COVID-19. I needed money. I had a free apartment, but I had no money. You know what I'm saying? And so I went on Leah's anniversary, the 20th anniversary, to go to Buffalo Museum to get a COVID shot, and I had Moderna. And trust me, I didn't eat nothing. I didn't get a chance to eat because I was rushing. I didn't want to be late. And I did drink coffee with tea and matcha and all the other stuff. Um, and around you dehydrated in the hot sun, this August 25th, 2021, went to Buffalo Museum, to the Moderna shop, got my $100 e-cord, bought stuff on Amazon, put money on my bus card, because I need that. I needed some cleaning supplies from Amazon, paper towels, detergent, also to wash my clothes, because I didn't have money. But it was funny, when I was in the projects, I had a friend that gave me money, or they were using washer. But um, when I moved to the Stern Park Apartments, due to the voucher they have for us homeless people to go there, um, I washed clothes in the tub. I sure did. Put a bunch of apple cider vinegar and make sure I had antibacterial soap along with detergent. So yes, and then had to hung that stuff in my walk-in closet. And I had to kill the mildew, baby. I was going through a lot. Okay, and then when my stimulus check came in, or when I had another check came in, I was able to wash clothes. Okay, y'all suggest to have a car to wash clothes. Got to change it to have wash clothes. So trust me, yeah. I had to wash my hand, or sometimes I would get a stick and squirt around the tub because I don't. Right, I feel like and if you deal with bleach, white clothes, you definitely don't want to put your hand in there. So then you get a stick to open the taste. But anyway, go back to the subject, to go outside the subject. Okay, so I always look at this situation about the Malia death anniversary, 20 years of it. I ended up taking a COVID shot. I started having a cancer situation, so I started using CBD oil, which is which is legal. It has cannabis in it, but I use it. And even the dermatologist in 2023, she said, whatever you're doing, keep doing it, because I was using apple cider. Yeah, I was put all I was drinking apple cider. I was drinking this Italian doctor. He got arrested, but he said baking soda, because cancer is a fungus. So use baking soda to get rid of. You drink baking soda along with maple syrup or honey, and I mixed it with some thyme. I mixed some thyme tea. I put turmeric in there. Yes, I did, in order to get whatever out. And trust me, I did go defecate. You gotta go to get rid. So not to go out the subject, but I was going through live when I told my daughter, I'm not trying to mismanage medical information, but that's the reaction I had from my daughter shot. And the mo is gone, but I still have a liberation because I have colitis. So that's why I want to take CBD oil. Okay, I'm gonna go detail before you watch and say, hey, you scared me. Sorry. Yeah, so that's what I did. But I've never done drugs in my life. All I did is like CBD oil because I had skin cancer symptoms from taking that Moderna shot. Okay, and I was gonna pay MD Anderson, the medical center, $600 to do an exam. They want you to pay out of pocket. Yes, if you had insurance, you had to pay $600 to get an examination on for skin cancer. Like, no, $600. I just got $1,000 and $600. No. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not working, what I'm saying? I'm waiting for an SI check to come in. I'm in a free apartment, and I just got in contact because I did work and I went to school online, and you're going to tell me, oh, no. No, baby. No, baby. No. So that's why. But going back to the home situation, so a lot of people don't realize on an esoteric level, when some of these homeless people who are on dope, they are cursing themselves. Okay? Let me give you a secret. CIA, when they did the crack epidemic, Bush, Reagan, Connor North, maybe Nixon before that, we was bringing the drugs across the border. Father Karapi, John Karapi, he's no longer a priest anymore. He used to be a priest. I watched his ministries on EWTN, and he said he used to be a playboy before he became a priest. that the CIA would the satanic priest and put the drugs, first the cocaine, so it goes to the streets, it would turn to crack. And people realize when you get high, the word is pharmakia. I said pharmacia, because it looks like the word pharmacia, yeah, but it's pharmakia. Okay, hold about on the child pharmacia, right? Okay, yeah, sound ghetto, don't get ghetto names. No, it's Greek means pharmakia. The word pharmakia, pharmacy comes from the word. Okay, and it means sorcerer. So anytime you get high or drunk, you putting a spell on you. You cursing yourself, and you become the demons. Like I said, alcohol is a body-eating spirit, and yeah, you can drink alcohol, moderation. But when you get drunk, it's wrong. It's sinful, and you let the body-eating flesh, your body spirit eat you to the point that you become another person, another spirit. That's why you do things you normally don't do when you're drunk. When you're not drunk, right? So some of these homeless people who are on this stuff are cursing themselves, and that's one thing I notice when you go to these places. They're not telling them that. Even these churches are not telling them that. You need to tell them that, hey, you when y'all get high, you actually putting a curse on you. Okay? Okay? You put a curse on you, start doing all type of weird stuff, take your clothes off, acting a fool, ready to fight everybody, especially on that cush, you put a curse on yourself. So, anyway, that being said, um, but speaking of curses, the reason why I brought this video up is because I've been speculating, like I mentioned, the California situation with a lot of homeless people there, and it's supposed to be a liberal state. But when we do a research on California, it's a lot of satanics and cult practices going on. And then too, during the Kamala campaign and the Hillary campaign, they was well, I don't know about Kamala, but I know Hillary was working with spirit cooking with Marina I can't say her freaking name. Okay, y'all know I'm talking about the satanic. Should I cuss the satanic bitch? That's friend with Jay-Z and all that. Okay, and she's friend with Michelle LeMay. Well, this is why the left had lost their party. Now, don't get me wrong. The CIA was mainly Republicans, Connor North and Reagan, because in that was this the scandal where they was molesting the boys and girls at Boys Town, the Franklin Report, and the higher brother named Lawrence, we call him Larry King, but not Larry King, the Jewish guy that died on scene. This is Larry, a bright skinned brother named Larry King, Lawrence King. He owned the Franklin Republican building. No, it was a financial building. It was a bank, and he was a wealthy man. He was a brother, light skinned African dude. He sang for Reagan's inauguration. Oh, say, can you see? But he was a pedophile. Okay, he was sexual. Oh, hold on. All right, all right, bye, y'all. Thank you. God bless y'all. Yeah. So he was in that sexual figure report back in the 80s. They did not show this in the media. They got death threats back in the 80s, and there was people from Bush administration and Reagan administration back in the 80s. They would sell these boys and girls too, but mainly the boys, and prostitute them to politicians in the administration of Reagan and Bush. And then when you read the book Program to Kill by David McGowan, the CIA, the Santan priest from Temple said what's named is a Michael Kino. Michael Kino was somehow involved in that case too, because him and his wife lived. They were sexually abusing kids, according to that book, in West Point, making them eat feces, just like R. Kelly situation, and urine and all that stuff. And that was going, yes, all right. And so that was going on back in the day. People don't realize that stuff is like, this is reality. So when I hear the right, the Republicans talking about, oh, the left having the Pizzagate, I laugh. I'm like, it's in both parties. This satanic entities are in sex trafficking in both parties. We heard allegations of the Hillary Clinton, sex trafficking, the children down there in Haiti after the earthquake. Haiti got all this billion money from all the countries, with the Clinton administration, the Clinton Foundation, Hillary Clinton Foundation came in and messed it up, and it was allegedly prostituting the kids down there, sex trafficking the kids. That's why Haitian Americans voted for Trump in the first year of Trump when he was running, because they knew the crimes of Hillary Clinton. Okay, um, and so when I hear about the Pizzagate and a lot of left and Jeff Epstein, okay, but you also had those on the right doing the same thing. And so the reason why I bring this up, because what's that to do with homelessness? Well, that's one thing. I do believe they're satanic elites. They got money, whether in the Republican or Democrat, because both Bohemian Grove have both parties of men going there. Um, they're probably doing curses to make sure people are homeless. Homelessness is big now in the United States, and like I said, I'll be homeless, but I know I'm homeless because they did spell me when I talk about the R. Kelly case, and that's why I started to believe that I was homeless the second time, and I am going to mention my stalker because I don't want to have nothing to do with this dude, but I did research on him. He's connected with Christos. Christos have allegations on him. Diddy does too. The song Bum Bump, the R. Kelly and Diddy and Christos made that song. But y'all don't realize when I did my research, it's not just these three. It's not just a stalker goon that I believe involved. There was I got evicted on his birthday back in 2023, and he lied to a judge in Phoenix. Hold on, such a thing, I believe there is a elite above them that's involved in human trafficking, sex trafficking, Satanism. You know what I'm saying? And if you start exposing the tea, you end up being homeless. You end up having bad things happen to you because they're working with witches, working with warlocks. You gotta understand, this is nothing new because even in Nazi Germany, Hitler worked with the occult. Yes, he did. He did occult practices, witchcraft, and he used that to get power. So, these people in high-ranking positions are involved in maybe Illuminati or any other demonic, um, what's the word for it? Secret organizations. They're like, I believe they're in a room and they got pictures of people, or they're making curses to make people homeless so they can organ harvesting, they're a homeless person, they can do human trafficking, sex trafficking, because you don't have no place. Of course, you have to use your house, but you have more protection. You have a house compared to you have a home. And you have law enforcement involved, you have judges involved, your celebrities involved. It's a big mess. When I was at the navigation center in one of the shelters I was in. It's a white identified because she has some Native American and black in her too. Her kids are part African American, and she said that the pedophiles get mistreated in jail. I said no, it's not true. She said yes, no, it's not true. Let me explain. I said because the R. Kelly situation, and I said no. You realize why they get away with crime? Because you have people above them who got money. Sex trafficking people, both adults and children. Arden Harrison, what happened to Kanika Jenkins, and happened to Zach TV exposing that. Like that bud told Zach TV, you messing with that money and they gonna get you. You better start praying. And Zach TV was ignoring like, dude, like Zach, I watched it. I like, dude, you should be praying. Like I always pray. I might be cursing everything. I'm not the perfect catcher, but I stay prayed up. I stay prayed that it's your best weapon. Okay, so when you start exposing the people, remember these people like R. Kelly, allegedly, Christos, Diddy, Harvey Weinstein, Jeff Epstein, which Epstein was a billionaire, but there are people above them in the organizations trying to make sure they do dirt and get away with it. And usually they are satanic. Now, not everybody is a Satanist involved in this, but you have satanic covens if you listen to Zachary King, the former satanic wizard, he would tell you, because he got, drilled into a sex trafficking, sex offending cult. Um, he did. He showed it. He got. I mean, he was 13 years old. He went to his friend's house, and you know the story. And he did not know that he was able to do drugs, able to have sex. You know what I'm saying? Because his parents were very strict Baptists. Um, and he realized he was in satanic coven, and and he having sex with older women. He was they were being pedophiles. Because the one thing I do wish we start focusing on both genders doing this, because in Zachary King's situation, it wasn't the men that molested him; it was women. He was molested at school, and when he was in satanic coven later on, he saw the same woman who molested him at school with a teacher. So it's like all these teachers that sex abusing these kids, usually they're not taken from sex trafficking, sex cults, satanic cults. Same thing with the men doing it too. Same thing with the priests in the Catholic Church or in Protestant churches who Protestant ministers. You have these people who belong to satanic cults that trying to destroy Christianity. They're trying to come to school. Yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of folks don't realize that a lot of these pedophiles, a lot of these sick people in position of power, they have people behind them because they do the same thing. And so going back to the woman who said, I said, no, I said, excuse me, I said, I'm homeless behind that R. Kelly situation. Um, but you don't realize that if the people of sex trafficking and sex abusing since begin in America, you know what I'm saying? George Washington was human trafficker, sex trafficking. Yeah, the slave trade was such a. Yeah, a lot of people forget about that. The slave trade was sex trafficking and human trafficking because they abused our ancestors. Something out. We're mixed with white. Now, of course, not all my mixture of white come from that slavery because I have a was a white woman that was intermarried by my grandfather who was passed away after slavery. But I'm just saying that that's why. You know, this country is built by pedophiles and sex traffickers. If the founding fathers, if you know, like for example, when Thomas Jefferson was messed with his sister-in-law, yes, Sally Hemings was his sister-in-law. Was out of slave because her full-blown white sister, and her had the same father, and her full-blown white sister was the wife of Thomas Jefferson. She was barely 14; he was old. So we have a history of this, and when I hear these little claims, oh, the pedophile person is going to be attacked, they have to assume that they have to be the worst person. Like they are the worst person to mess with kids, but they're not the worst person that they have a reputation and no one else like them. But they have goons in law enforcement and judicial powers and political powers. They're protected. Um, it's like they're singers. Like they say, R. Kelly was having a concert. No one's not talking about abusing R. Kelly, raping R. Kelly after he did. Of course, that white was a white mixed white dude, part Hispanic, then part Latin Kings. Then he said the government's involved. Yeah, the government's involved because yeah, but they investigate who in the government allowed this man to get away with. We all know that Chicago police was behind covering up, allegedly, I do believe it's true, covering up R. Kelly's crimes until that documentary of Dream Hampton, which was Jack Wright exposed as Jay-Z's baby mama, okay, before he messed with Beyonce. You know, yeah. So you realize that the sex trafficking, and let me explain why I started to believe that the elite is involved. When they put voodoo on me, talking about the R. Kelly case and saying his brother is darker than him, that's not his brother on the tape. This is the reason why I believe the sex trafficking, the harvesting is by government and those elite, behind it. Okay. And it's because, um, like I said, you gotta look at both parties. You can't just look at a Republican and Democrat. It's in both parties. The reason why I believe because they make money off of human trafficking, sex trafficking. It's combined like drug trafficking and also organ harvesting. And that's greedy doctors that actually will take organs of someone who stole their organs from someone. What happened to Ryan Singleton, the gay man that married, yeah, the designer, yeah. And I talk about the story later on. I have speculations what I believe happened in the case. I'm not going to discuss it. No, I'm not going to discuss it. I'm not going to discuss it. I do look at the husband of this man with suspicion, but I'm going to leave it alone. Bitches let you know. But see what I'm saying? They know some of the animals ate the flesh. Come on. No. The police officer probably was involved in that case too down in Death Valley. You know. Ooh, Jesus. Driving fast like that. Anyway. So, don't forget the police officers gonna get their behind. Yeah, it's okay. Because where I'm at, the police officers, they do their jobs, kind of do too much. But anyway, um, like I was saying, so I do believe that this homelessness is conspired spiritually. I believe that there's people elite. They trying to get people in human trafficking, sex trafficking, or organ harvesting. Um, what I was saying because I got distracted. I'm tired, y'all. It's 10 something, almost 11. Um, why I believe this is gonna conspire, like I said, I read a lot of stories. And it seemed to me it's gonna conspire. But going back to the Dream Hammers situation with R. Kelly, survived R. Kelly, and let me also elaborate too. And I want everybody to hear this. I've been hearing stories that Beyonce's career has something to do with that. No. I don't believe that Beyonce, she did that. What's the name? Aaliyah dated Jay Z before she started dating Dame Dash. I believe that ever since that tape came out with Sparkle's niece, um, she's from for the cause. We all know who she is. She's in her 40s now, so we go Rashonda, whatever her name was. It was getting urinated on. Of course, I never watched the video, okay? But they showed a little clip of him, R. Kelly. And of course, he looks darker because he's probably been playing basketball all day. And high pigmentation will make you darker. Trust me, I wear sunscreen. I know, okay? So, I keep my camera complexion. He's camera skin. He got darker. So, he's trying to say this dark skinned brother. That is not your dark skinned hair brother. Stop. Because I'm the same father. That's you, okay? The reason why I brought this up, like I said, Chicago police covered it up until Dream Hamilton came out and exposed that. And he was making a reputation of terrorist while he was harassment at his concert when he had a birthday. Okay. But they involved. Sex trafficking is very big in Cook County. Okay. So, and homelessness is very big. All the nations, here in Houston, in California. Okay. And I always get upset with these liberal ones who say they're helping homeless. They're not. You're not. It gives Republicans make it hard for homeless people, but you have a so-called liberal person who are helping people who are poor. So when I see no resolution, I do believe people putting spells of witchcraft. Okay, and so now I'm just speaking all over because I'm just tired right now. I'm just tired. Y'all want to make this a part two? I'm feeling tired right now. We'll make a part two of this. Yeah. I'm just tired though. We'll make a part two of this, y'all.